All right, today we are diving deep into some material that makes some, let's say, extraordinary claims about Project MKUltra. We're going to walk through the story it tells, a story of mind control, spies in the home, the so-called real men in black, and even a strange connection to other dimensions. So, let's get into it.
Right off the bat, the source material does not pull any punches. It kicks off with this really chilling statement, and it sets the stage perfectly. We're going way beyond the declassified documents here and straight into the idea of total, absolute human control. And that's really the idea at the heart of all this.
So, to kick things off, let's look at the massive gap between what we're told MKUltra was and the terrifying purpose our source claims it really had.
So on one hand, you've got the official story, right? It admits to some pretty unethical experiments, all in the name of developing interrogation techniques. But according to the source we're examining, this was just the tip of the iceberg. A cover story for something way more sinister, the goal of creating completely programmable human beings, spies, assassins, you name it.
So what do they even mean by mind control? Well, in this context, we're talking about a very specific process. It's using this cocktail of drugs and hypnotic techniques to do more than just influence someone. The idea was to completely wipe their memory, create a total blank slate, and then install new programming.
This account breaks it down into a pretty chilling three-step method. First, you erase the person they were. Just gone. Then, you implant a new mission, new memories. But here's the crucial final step. You create a trigger. A code word, a sequence of numbers, something that could activate the subject like a robot, and they wouldn't even know why they were doing it.
And the alleged uses for this tech, they are absolutely shocking. The source flat out links this process to huge historical events like the assassination of JFK, claiming the official stories are just cover-ups. It even goes so far as to claim that subjects could be programmed with a self-destruct command, mission accomplished, and then no loose ends.
Now, if the idea of programmable assassins wasn't disturbing enough, the source claims there was a whole other division of this project, one that was never documented, and one that took this technology into an even darker place, the family home.
So this account identifies three groups of subjects. You had men, allegedly used for things like assassinations. You had women, recruited for all sorts of missions. But then there's this third group, the unannounced one, kept completely off the books, children. And they were supposedly used for spying and even bombings.
Just think about that for a second. The text claims children were literally weaponized against their own families. If your parents were a person of interest, you, as their child, could be turned into an unwitting listening device, reporting back on everything you hear in the privacy of your own home.
You might be asking, how could they possibly pull that off? Well, the source gives a cover story that is just chillingly plausible. Parents were told their kids were getting special vaccinations, maybe treatments to boost their intelligence, but in reality, this was the alleged window of opportunity for reprogramming them. And the method of control sounds like something straight out of science fiction. The claim is that commands were delivered through low-frequency signals broadcast from passing vehicles, and because of supposed genetic manipulation done during those treatments, only these specific children could hear and understand the commands. The adults around them would be completely oblivious. Okay, the narrative takes another wild turn here. It connects all these secret operations to something we all know from pop culture, the men in black. But it argues the reality is a whole lot different from the movies.
So let's just get right to it. Are the men in black just a fun Hollywood fantasy? Or, according to this source, is there a real organization behind all the fiction?
Well, according to this account, the real men in black are basically graduates of this same program. They're described as people taken as kids, genetically manipulated, and molded into the perfect secret agents. We're talking about ghosts, people with no name, no official records, no identity, literally untraceable.
And what's their job? To do the impossible tasks normal agents can't. And more importantly, to control people on the spot using the very techniques we've been talking about. Auditory commands, weird hand gestures, visual cues that can supposedly bypass a person's conscious mind entirely.
All right, if you thought it couldn't get any stranger, hold on, because this is where the story jumps from clandestine government ops right into the cosmos. It suggests that all this hidden manipulation can actually create bizarre phenomena in our skies.
You might have seen videos online of what looks like two suns in the sky. Now, conventional science would say, hey, that's just atmospheric light reflection, an optical illusion, maybe even a secret artificial sun experiment. But our source, it proposes a radically different idea. that we're not seeing a reflection, but a brief glimpse into another dimension.
The core idea here is that the very fabric between dimensions can get thin or distorted, letting us literally see another reality's sun right next to our own. It's a hypothesis that tries to build a bridge from conspiracy all the way to cosmology.
And finally, the source takes all of these different threads and weaves them together to make one last massive claim about the world we are living in right now. It argues that the ideas behind MKUltra never went away. They just got a major upgrade.
And here's the real kicker. According to this source, MKUltra never actually ended. It just evolved. The claim is that it doesn't need secret injections or one-on-one hypnosis anymore, because modern technology gives it a much more efficient, widespread way to achieve control.
And this is the ultimate takeaway from the material, the claim that the experiment has gone global. The project of control is no longer for a few unlucky individuals in a lab, it's for all of us, all the time.
So how could that even be possible? Well, the source alleges our minds are now basically exposed, that our thoughts are somehow accessible via satellite technology. And this data isn't being analyzed to sell you sneakers, it's being analyzed to maintain a subtle but pervasive form of societal control.
And that leaves us with the deeply unsettling question this whole narrative forces you to ask. If you can't trust what you see with your own eyes, or even the thoughts inside your own head, what can you trust? This source, whether you buy into it or not, challenges the very nature of reality and free will, and really pushes the boundaries of what we think is possible.